Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. So in the Arabic lesson today, we are going to do gender. So let's a quick revision. We are doing ism, and in the ism we already did the status, but in between we did a few more topics about harf of nasab, harf of jar, and a few other topics. And then now today we are going to do the second property of ism, that is gender. And we're not going to complete it today. I'm going to do the half of it today. So let's get started. Auzu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. So gender, basically in English we know that we say things like he, she, and it, but in Arabic we only have he or she. There's no it. So any ism will be given a gender. Either it is going to be masculine or feminine. That does not mean that it's biological gender. Just like it's going to be either masculine or it's going to be feminine. Any ism in the Arabic is considered masculine. And now there is a rule to remember, that any ism in the Arabic is considered masculine until you can prove that it's feminine. So there has to be a few changes that we see, and in a word that we can tell that this word is feminine. Otherwise all the words, they are considered masculine. And so it's important to study the feminine, because otherwise by default the word, the ism is going to be masculine. But how can we tell that if this word is a feminine? So let's study that. So there are a couple of reasons for that. The first reason is it's the ism, it's a biological female. That means like it's a woman, mother, sister, daughter. So all those, they're biologically female, so we say that this is feminine. The second is that if an ism, it ends with tadista marbuta or ya or this ending. So these endings can make a word feminine. For example, like there's this word bushra, which means good news in Arabic. So good news in English, it would be written like it, but in Arabic we give it a gender, and that is feminine. So since it is ending with this, with ya, so it's a feminine. So it's the gender is feminine for this. Then we have another word like rahmatun. Like you see the ta marbuta at the end. So rama means mercy, and then this is feminine because of this ending. Then qiyamatun, like this also has a ta in the end. So this means resurrection, and this is also feminine. So when a word when an ism has these endings, and in most of the cases it is a feminine, right? Then you see the color soda, hamra, baida, all of them are ending with alif and like hamza, so they're also feminine. So this is the second reason, this by which you can tell an ism is feminine, if it has these kind of endings, ta, ya, and a. First one is like they're biologically feminine, you know that they're feminine, so it's feminine. And then the second one is that if these endings are there. Now let's move on to the third one. Now in the third one, body parts in pairs. So all the body parts that are in pairs, they are also, their gender is also feminine. So for example, yad, hands, so they are feminine. Then ain, eyes, they are two, so they are in pairs, so they are feminine. Mirfakun, elbow, then this shoulder, mankib. Then uzun is ear, rijl is leg. Then khad is cheek, akib is heel. um, uh, Shafatun, like it's also in, I don't know which surah it was in lip. Then Kadamun, like foot, Sak means shin, Kab means ankle. So all these parts of the body that are in pair, they are also, their status is also feminine. So let's just take an example. Like if you say my foot hurts, so it will not say it hurts, we'll say she hurts. So because the status of foot is that it is feminine, it is a body part that is in pair, so it's feminine, so the status will be feminine, so we'll say she hurts. And then there also the fourth reason for a word to be or an ism rather to be feminine is that it's the name of the places. So names of the countries, like any names of the places like Chicago or wherever, like so they are also like their status is all, their gender is also feminine. So the next reason is non-human plurals, and it was a longer discussion, so I said that I thought that we'll do that tomorrow, inshallah. So we will continue the discussion of gender tomorrow. Is just a quick revision that we are doing the isms, and in ism we already did the status, rafa, nasab, jar, and how you can tell status and all that stuff. And then today we started the gender, and then in Arabic we give gender to every ism. So any ism, it is by default it is masculine, unless you can tell that you can prove that it's a feminine. So we studied the feminine in detail. So there are different couple of reasons why the status of an ism is feminine. First of all, it's a biological feminine. The second is that if it has an ending of a ta marbuta, ya, or this one, And then the body parts that are in pair, all of them, they have their gender is feminine. And then the fourth is the names of the places, the countries and cities, the names of them, they are also their gender is feminine. Inshallah, tomorrow we'll continue the discussion of gender and do the non-human plurals. That's all for today. Fi amanillah.